How's it going? Tobin, back in the den. Episode 22 in my brush review series. If you're hearing this, it's because I didn't get all tongue-tied and combobulated. I'm a little excited. My Seattle Mariners are about to kick off Game 5 of the ALDS. Dodgers got the day off. Tomorrow, my Oregon Ducks play Indiana. There's never been a better time for me to be a sports fan, and there's never been a better time for you or I to be a traditional wet shaver. Why do I say that? Because, my friend, we got options. Back in 2002, 23 years ago, it's October 2025, Ming Lee at Frank's Shaving created his first synthetic, which we now call Generation 1, Frank's G1. That's what I have right here. The newest is Frank's G9, which I've already reviewed, and I've also reviewed the G8, so Generation 8 and 9 I've already reviewed. We're going to start with Generation 1. We're going to do 3, 4, 5, and 7 in the coming days, weeks. It's going to take me a little bit of time. But applying the same formula that we've applied before, does this G1, after 23 years, still hold up to something like the G9, which just came out last summer, a year ago summer now. It's autumn. October, baseball, football, even soccer. I was about to say soccer, Major League Soccer. There's the Portland Timbers. Not such a good year up there, but that's okay. All right, starting off with the first category. 3 different categories. Each category, we're going to take 2 different perspectives, so to say. First, the tips. How soft are just the tips on the face? So if you're a painter, how soft is that going to feel? 5 being average, 10 being the softest I've ever experienced, and 5 being what I would expect a softness to be from a brush, just the average. I'm giving it a 5. This is a very average softness, even compared to many of the different fibers that we have out on the market today. This is Umo ST1. It's considerably softer than Umo is. I have reviewed that if you're curious. But, so, basing it off of all of my synthetics in my collection, which I have a couple, I'm giving the tips a 5. Average softness. Now, face feel. When you get it splayed open and these fibers, the inside of the fibers are up against your face. So if you're a scrubber like I am, how soft does it feel? It loses a little bit of softness compared to the average fiber. Soft tips, we're giving it a 5. Face feel, when it's splayed open, giving it a 4. But the good news is, we'll talk about this more in a second, you do get a little bit of scrubbiness going on. Next category, we're going to look at backbone first. Backbone, that is the individual strength of the fiber when I'm pushing on it like this. Like how strong are the fibers? 5 being average backbone for a synthetic, 10 being the most backbone ever, and weak just being a floppy Sally. Is that a thing? It is now, right? Floppy Sally. Don't be a floppy Sally. Backbone, I'm giving a 7. This little brush has a ton of backbone. Ease of splay. Now, that is when I get it open and we're pushing it up against the face. And like, how springy is it? How floppy is it? So we're still measuring the same thing, but just looking at it from a different perspective. Backbone, 7. That's when I just push it to the face, and I don't know how many times you've ever done this. There is a difference when you get it splayed from brush to brush. I've been shaving this week, actually using both of these like 3 times in the last week at the same time. Oh. I love Frank's synthetics. I love all of them. I really do. I still haven't tried the 2 or the 6. Ease of splay, a 4. Backbone, 7. So backbone, 7. Ease of splay, 4. And then moves us down into the third and final category, starting off looking at flow through. How easily does the water, soap, lather flow through the fibers? You don't want it to hold on too much because then you're not going to get it on your face. 5 being average flow through, what you would expect when picking up a brush. I'm going to give it a 6. It does flow through a little better than you might anticipate. Retention, that's how well it holds onto it. So again, we're still looking at the same thing, but just through a different lens from a different perspective. 5 being average retention for synthetic, I'm going to give it a 4. So you have a 6 on flow through, a little better than average, which you want, and retention, depending on the person, a little less than what you expect. Most importantly, value. This one for me is so easy to give a 10. One, because I'm a nerd, a shave nerd, and the fun factor alone of having Frank's G1 from 2002 is pretty awesome. Being able to use a technology from over 2 decades. I mean, this, for something to be antique, it has to be 100 years old. For something to be considered vintage, it has to be, or even classic too, right? But for something to be vintage, it has to be over 20 years old. So by that definition, these are what you might call vintage technology, right? I mean, this is old school shaving fibers. That right there makes it extremely cool, in my opinion. But the price is what makes it even better. Because it is older technology, it's super cheap. And I got 2 pieces of great news. One, there's no more tariffs. And I forgot to say that at the beginning of the video. I think I'll put a little thing up there. No tariffs. Long story short, the tariffs are still there, but Frank's Shaving is now covering them for American customers. So don't worry about that 30% tariff that was once there. It's gone. Thank you, Ming, for taking care of that. He heard our cries for help, and he figured out a way to do it by working out some things on the shipping end, okay? So the tariff is gone, and if you use my link in the description, or if you just go to Frank's Shaving and put Tobin in the discount code box, you will save 20% off of everything on his website. And I mean everything. Clearance, sale, doesn't matter, 20% off. This brush, he doesn't currently have this handle. You can always message him and ask him if he does have one. I love this little wooden handle. But he has it in 2 different handles. And the one that I would recommend, because I like the looks of it better, is the one for $7.99. The other one's cheaper at $5.99. I think my girls are home. Let's wrap this up. But you can get it for $7.99. Take my 20% off of that. That knocks it down to $6.39. That's one of the cheapest brushes you're going to find anywhere. Free shipping threshold is $50. So if you don't spend $50, you're going to have to pay for shipping. I did the math on that. To have this brush mailed to me, just the brush, after my discount, mailed to me here in Oregon, it would be $17.20. So that's $6.39 for the brush, and then 10 something for shipping. So I could get that brush sent to me here in Oregon for $17.20. I still think, even if I went that route, that this would still be a 10, that this is one hell of a value. I really do. And in this series, the little big thing is always going to be value. I can't recommend this enough, especially if you're already going to be placing an order with Frank's. Grab this one for $7.99, or if you like those different looking handles that he has on there for $4.99, right? Is it $4.99? I'm sure the handle is probably cooler. It's just not necessarily my style. I like that little style right there. It's a little big things, my friends. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you soon with the PAA brush, and then we're going to flip-flop between that and Frank's. I'd really love to knock out my collection from those 2 vendors. Take care, and I'll see you next time.